Disclaimer. This is a topic that goes way deeper in the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Charlotte gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at TopOppGen's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could lead him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel TopOppGen is one of the more unique drill artists to come out in the past few years, with his rise to success seemingly happening in only a year after he began to make music fully. Him consistently meshing emo sounds to a drill topic is the main reason I feel he's going up. Thanks! I hope you enjoy. Genesis Khalil Rowland, also known by his stage name, TopOppGen, is what I describe as drill's first ever emo artist, who in my humble opinion makes the most unique and great sounding music in North Carolina, that is sometimes overshadowed by the fact that Gen himself might be a creative player in this drill shit, i.e. there's a decent amount of evidence that bro, as one King Von quote states, caps in his raps. This is the story of the fastest rising artist out of Carolina drill and drill's first emo, TopOppGen. Originally born on October 29th, 2005 in the town of Asheville, North Carolina, a young Genesis would move with his parents to the town of Charlotte, North Carolina pretty early on in his childhood, though he'd go back and forth quite often. Seeing that his family was brought up decently well off, but still in less than lovely circumstances, he himself would withdraw from most of his peer group early on, choosing to stay inside and play video games and be with his grandmother and mom all day. In fact, he's one of the few artists I've covered thus far who didn't immediately see crime and jump off the porch and crash their life. It seems like his god sister, one Brandy, was one of the lead influences on his early life, pushing him to get out of his hermit lifestyle he was building for himself, as she'd take him to video shoots that she'd be doing and little parties and shit when they were coming up, as she herself was a rising artist coming out of Asheville by the name of Breezy Boo. And honestly, she was pretty good. Sadly though, before she began her rise in popularity, Brandy would wind up passing away when Genesis was around 11 or 12 years old, which had a big effect on Pro in his childhood. On the good side, she'd probably be really proud of TopOppGen and what he's gone on to accomplish. I just wish she was here to see it. While growing up, there is a lot of evidence that Genesis was a pretty good kid. Bro was on a news station talk about education shit as a child, as well as bro being academically pretty good at this point, grade-wise. But with that, there is also a plethora of clip of Gen getting beat up, robbed, and even bitched by other classmates and presumably his opposition. One video, bro got his whole blunt stolen and even watched as they smoked it in front of him. Y'all North Carolina motherfuckers be bitching people. I ain't never seen shit this petty. When Gen would go on to jump off the porch, like any other drill artist, he would wind up joining up with the 693X crew that was made up of people that he fucked with and people that are around his area. Even though bro is called a creative player to this day and has a history of getting bitched, bro has also been arrested a few times, though it's usually on gun possession or drug BS if I'm honest. For a top op, bro don't got no bodies he could point to speak of. Morally, that's really good, but the streets ain't looking at shit morally. The streets only has an eye for ignorance, death, and crime, sadly. It also does not help that TopOppGen often comes off as pretty zesty, just in his looks and how he acts. So, I mean, he looks like Lil Uzi Vert to me or Famous Dex. All slight judging aside, TopOppGen's first foray into making music and dropping music will come around the time that Gen became 15 years old. Like I said before, his inspiration to begin came from seeing his friend Xavier write down his own music, and Gen wanted to go into a similar direction as his god sis had happily went along and began to write his own music as well. This would begin scuffed as fuck, because at the beginning of Genesis' music career, it was pure passion, and bro wasn't even using recording software to record his music. Instead, he elected to take his phone, record him rapping, as well as the beat of the same fucking recording, making these tracks way less listenable currently. This style of recording would only last for about 2 months though before he began doing Bandcamp. It's actually pretty hard to find a lot of TopOppGen's early music, due to bro's label deleting damn near every single one of his old tracks and catalog, including one of my favorite albums of his, Imperfections, which was scratched from the face of the earth, besides Spotify, but I don't use Spotify. This includes them deleting singles, deleting music videos like Perky Girl, and even whole albums. We don't know why exactly they did all this, but due to this, the amount of unreleased TopOppGen songs floating around on the internet is astronomical and inadvertently caused Genesis music and Allure to kinda grow, especially in the eyes of fans, is, as the more people who would comment wanting an old song, the more people that are gonna want to see what the hype's about and go and check out his old catalog as well. It sucks that his catalog got cold, but it might have done a good bit of legwork to boost his music career, as more and more people were getting hyped for each of his releases and snippets. TopOppGen's first ever music video, that's still fucking up, and surviving of course, would be the April 4th, 2024 track, Make It Worse, which comes off as a more melancholic, sad-sounding track with drill lyrics where Jin would use his emo style and multiple layers of vocals to decent effect. While it's not necessarily my cup of tea, it would wind up getting a nice 275,000 views, so I'm the fucking minority. Keeping up with this emo style, the next track, Realest Shit I Ever Wrote, Part 2, would be a more open and honest look into bro's hardships, and would mirror a lot of his later content in both feeling and substance. At the time of this recording, it has 377,000 views. The 100k to 300k views range is what Jin will be stuck with for a good while after this point, but that also points to his fan base being solid as fuck and consistently viewing all his shit. This trend will continue until November 1st, 2024, when Jin will release the track Let Me Hear It. This one track will be the culmination of all the talent and skill Jin has been building up until this point. This track being equally drill focused as well as relationship focused, and style wise, it felt way more professionally done than some of his earlier work, especially in the mix and master. This track is currently sitting strong at 858,000 views, and it served to be one of the first real breakout successes of his career. This popularity also came on faster than other artists because unlike other drill artists, Jin would make appearances on YouTube videos like 20v1s and also live streaming shit, meaning he was steadily growing his fans' adoration of his image and his personality alongside his music, which in turn led his fan base to growing while at the same time staying very consistent. In short, bro's fans are loyal as fuck. At the same time as this growth, however, another thing began to creep into bro's persona more and more. That of course being drug use, or more accurately, drug abuse. You see, since the jump, TopOppGen has always been an emo sad boy type due to his god's passing as well as other shit in his youth, and even to this day, Jin claims he's gonna kill himself damn near every single chance he gets. Him saying in one video that he won't do it till he tells his story through music. This could be, and has been seen by a lot of redditors, as a boy who cried wolf promo strategy. Because of bro being emo and suicidal kinda fits like a glove, and bro stays saying that shit. But because of his heavy drug use, I'd say there is more truth to the feeling than most people give him credit for, especially the redditors. This is a person who has been bullied all of their life, and you can see it on the internet to this day. A person who has lost role models young off of street BS, while constantly being told he ain't bout shit, while getting pressed, beat up, and robbed consistently. That's why I'm personally of the belief that his suicidal ideation might be a bit spookier than people play it off as. He might say that shit a lot, but I don't know if he actually means it or doesn't. It's a tad bit worrying to say the least. Add that onto the video of bro being so angry he's crying, showing the camera his knuckles, and this adds to the less than stable mindset, I feel. Redditors allege that this video is after he beat a girlfriend of his, but there is literally no evidence of domestic violence. He deadass could just punched a wall, and that's more likely given how his knuckles are scraped. You don't scrape your knuckles like that on somebody's face, that don't look right. The first track of TopOppGen's to blow past 1 million views would also happen to be one of the tracks that I return to most often, that track being Hello. This would be a bit lighter on the drill topics, and more so speak on half love song, half regular drug flex track, but the way bro does it is artistically masterful, and his mixing and mastering technique is slowly evolving at this point. This track would wind up with a nice 1.5 million views, and it wouldn't even be the last to get that high. His very next track, End Up Dead, would wind up keeping this trend, with it getting 1.3 million views, probably due to bro having a way more indie sounding beat, and being a very open and candid about his life and how he feels. Him saying that he feels like he's just gonna end up dead, either off drugs or off himself. In my experience doing this channel, and just listening to motherfuckers in my own time, sad music always gets more poppin' in my experience. It's hard to say where his sadness ends and his business sense begins, as it's so intertwined at this point that it's become a part of bro's image, like a Juice WRLD or Lil Peep. I hope to God it does not end the same though, because bro is easily the best and fastest growing artist out of North Carolina, even if you don't stand on the gang shit he raps. And around this point, Jin would begin to collaborate with fellow perk junkie Fat Mac out of Alabama, and their melodic styles would complement each other quite well, leading to them to collaborate later on in the future and to become decently good friends. The only other big notable thing that Jin began after this point was a very public relationship with the drill princess, Aspen Cartier. Bro even made a song called Cute Like Aspen that is currently sitting strong at 1.6 million views. That boy whipped his shit. All jokes aside, I don't follow the relationship enough to comment on it cause I'm not a real housewife motherfucker. But I'm all for drill artists dating each other, and especially in between scenes. It could cause some great music and great music meshes to be made eventually, though a breakup could cause a gang war, so risk and reward. While TopOppGen has went to jail before, every single time it's been off of drugs or gun possession, so I'm not gonna harp on it too much as I would the other artists. As of recording this video, the latest project Jin has released, Kalon, is sitting pretty okay view-wise, with one of his tracks getting over 1 million views, and a good few being over 100,000. Not a whole lot going over 1 million though, so it's like, give or take, it's pretty good for an album. I feel like if TopOppGen keeps up the rate he's going music-wise, bro is gonna break into the mainstream conversation with ease. His emo, but still street persona is more than enough to push normie listeners into becoming die-hard fans, especially with how easily he opens up in his music. If you can be vulnerable in your music and people relate to it, you're basically speedrunning your success. Look at Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, Lil Peep, and all of them. All those motherfuckers are sad, all those motherfuckers got fans. The only things that could stand to stall bro's success is bro's street reputation being shitty, along with the fact that bro consistently says suicidal shit and takes hella drugs. Basically, in layman terms, the only thing that can tear down his career at this point is himself. Even his label deleting his old music didn't stop his growth, it only added gas to the fire. Here's hoping bro stays alive and well and happy for a long ass time, for both his sake and the sake of his fans. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment y'all trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. After we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a Q&A live stream where I'll be answering y'all's questions and hanging out with y'all for a while. I'll announce the date and time when we hit the goal, of course. Next week's video will most likely be Baby Stay Down, because I've been promised that I'll be doing him and I feel kinda bad. The week after, I'm gonna let y'all vote on who I'm gonna do though. As always, I appreciate the fuck out of all y'all. And with all that out the way, peace out. Yeah.
For the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.